against my enemies, yeah. You see, you wanted to save you, and then learn how to raise you. But I forget you're from the wilderness.
What is up, everyone? I am Rob.
I am Eamon.
And this is Mini Fuzz. How are you doing today, Eamon?
Very well.
Yeah?
Had a funny old day.
Funny day.
Well,
Bizarre.
it was a tough day in work because Thursday and Friday we were at this conference thing.
Oh, yeah.
So then you're kind of sandbagging all your work from those days to get the Monday. And then one of the lads was off, so I said I'd cover him. So I was doing a different job.
Oh,
And
mistake.
it was all right. It was grand. The day went fast. I'm top tier at what I do, so it was fine. But then from there, my wife's recently learned how to swim.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, yeah, we'll go to the gym quick before doing the podcast. She was like, yeah, but we have to swim as well. And I was like, all right.
She's been listening to Enema by Tool. Learn to swim.
Learn to swim. Yeah, she's Arizona
she-
Bay. She got a tattoo. It just says Arizona Bay on her arm. But yeah, so it's just been like bang, 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 bang. And then when I finally got here, as you bore witness to, she rings me and she goes, the front door doesn't work. And I was like, this can't be right. And sure enough, when I got there, the front door does work. And now we're back here again. So it's been a zippy kind of a day.
We had a brief conversation there about women being defeated by front doors.
These are bad at thumb turn
Yeah,
locks.
thumb turn
These are
locks and
not
front
good at
doors
them.
is...
Like all my respect, you can do. You make all the people. There's things you do that a thumb
Class.
turn lock doesn't compare to. But my word, you need to learn how to use them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I went for a hike on the weekend.
That's right. Yeah, that's very good.
Amazing. I went up to the United Kingdom of Ireland. And I walked along the Great Wall of Northern Ireland up in County Down.
Yeah, you like the Mongolian.
I was up on the steps. There was a bit of everything there. So I went up. Great hike, by the way. If anyone wants to check out Slieve Donard up in the Mourne Mountains, it's the highest peak in Ulster. Fantastic hike. Really enjoyed it. But the highlight, Eamon, people that follow me on my personal Instagram, don't follow me on my personal Instagram, found seen it already. The horses, wild horses.
Yeah.
Didn't realise we had them. Made my day.
Wild horses
Made me
couldn't
day.
keep me from you. It looks. It's a very nice picture. The horse, like kind of
nice.
sheepishly, or I suppose
Horses.
horsishly. Look, it's a lovely picture. It looks
No,
like
it's
a very
a good
cute horse.
Cute
horse.
We call them David Hasselhorse.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
It's good
David
lad.
Hasselhorse, pretty good.
Um,
Pretty good.
And so then I learned, I was very excited, and as I do, I'm an inquisitive man. That's why we have this podcast. We're both inquisitive people.
Yeah.
Went home, researched what's the crack with wild horses in the north. Turns out, there's a bit of a sad story to it, they're all feral horses that were dumped over the generations. They have a breeding population. They reckon there's about 30 to 50 up there, but they're not suited to mountain life, and that's the only real place where there's grazing.
So they're not that they're adapting, but
They're not really.
They have adapted to an extent.
To an extent.
They've adapted without adapting. If
So
that makes sense.
so they're like, it's not uncommon to find like horses up there that need to
Just
be
after
euthanized.
falling down.
Yeah, they need to be euthanized. Their legs are all broke up, and then a lot of them have like parasites and worms, and they have to be put down and stuff. A lot of them, and I actually noticed it in the pictures when I went back to look, but in the article I was reading, they were like, yeah, their stomachs get really bloated and stuff.
As a malnutrition.
Well, yeah, worms and all shit. And so, yeah, they were like fairly badly malnourished. But came over for an old pet, not a bother off him.
That's nice. You might have parasites and worms now.
Yeah, I could have given him
To be
parasites.
fair,
and
yeah,
worms,
he's
to
probably
be honest.
he's rocked up there trying to recover.
Shit, son. But no, it was super cool seeing wild horses. Like I was saying to you before we
very
started,
cool.
I had to like double take because I looked down into the valley and my brain was like, there's a lot of horses just walking beside people with no one on them. And then I looked away and I was like, oh shit. And I looked back, I was like, fuck. Yeah, and they were just chilling. So cool.
Yeah.
It's cool to see. Yeah,
good.
I didn't know it.
No, I didn't. I
Shouts
knew
out horses.
there were horses like that with the long fetlocks and all the rest of it, but I didn't associate them with like having a little wild population.
Yeah,
I said that
you
there.
were associating.
Hey now. I didn't say anything that anyone else isn't thinking right now as we say this.
No, it was great. And shouts out horses, big fans of horses.
My father's name is Philip, which means horse lover.
Equine,
Is Ippo ni hajab. We both saw Aliens
We
The
did.
alien movie Romulus.
Will we talk about that after, will we? At
we
the
talk
end of
about
the
that?
episode.
Sure, whenever. Do
Just at the end of
Patreon.
the episode.
I don't want to talk about
We'll
it
talk
anymore.
about-
We can talk about it,
Yeah, because we got stuck into that. And I know a lot of our listeners actually went to see it too, so we'll talk about that after.
Yeah.
So before we get into this episode, I'd like to remind everyone to leave reviews if you're on Apple. There's a shambolically low amount of reviews over on Apple, so head on over, leave us a rating, leave us a text review. That'd be great. If you want to do a little bit more, head on over to our Patreon. You'll get live episodes. You will actually get a live episode. You'll get ad-free episodes. You'll get one exclusive episode per month, which we just released, Damon. And you'll also get loads of other bits as well when they come out. You can also join the Fuzzy Club over on Apple.
Oh, yeah.
That is Apple's version of Patreon. So if you have a gift card or whatever you want to use it on that, $3.50 per month. You get your exclusive episodes and your ad-free episodes. That's it over there because that's all they offer. I want to talk about Apple Podcasts at the end of this episode too. Won't do it now, but it's important if you use the Patreon app on Apple. You can pay by the year if you like. So head on over and check it out. Eamon, if they've got any cryptid encounters, maybe a horse in Ireland.
Yeah, maybe some sort of a horse. Some sort of a horse or a selkie, perhaps. Send them into monsterfuzzpodcast@gmail.com. Today we have a story by Chadwick Gales.
Some man.
Pretty cool name.
Last week's patron, Chadwick
That's
Gales.
right, yeah.
Some man,
we
some name.
were likening him to the Black Panther.
It's a serious name. If that's his real name, super,
Pretty cool name.
like,
Chadwick Gales.
you need to do something with that
It's
name. Do you know what I
only
mean?
second to a name like Chad Muska.
Chad Muska is up there.
Chadwick Muska is pretty,
I seen Bam was out hanging out with Chad Muska there on the weekend. He was down with Chad Muska anyway.
Yeah. Chad must have relapsed. Yeah.
Nah, it's that
To be
Chad
fair,
was fucking him up.
Bam's staying sober, isn't he? He's doing allegedly.
Well, but yeah, Chadwick Gales, great name. You know, he writes in Eamon if you want to take it away.
He does. We have a patron as well, Kitty Kitty Meow Meow.
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah,
Kitty Meow
shouts
Meow.
out Kitty Kitty Meow
Thank
Meow.
you very much, Kitty
The
Kitty
surname
Meow
on
Meow.
Kitty Kitty Meow Meow, by the way, I did my sleuthing, is a Lawton. I wonder, is it an Assassin's Creed Lawton?
If it is, then I know who Kitty Kitty Meow Meow
Do
is. Yeah,
Oh,
if
that
it,
is-
I know
okay.
one of my cousins is obsessed with cats. So,
Okay, that could be that.
I'm not afraid of
Oh,
telling her. She'll get it. She'll get it. No one else will.
okay.
No one else will. And you're not.
I owe your family fair bit now. The Patreon money there coming. I might go around.
I might start rumbling your man and your sister.
When's the next Christmas get together? I'll go down with a
Probably
hat.
Christmas. We'll,
Where's it on then? Down to Waterford?
Yeah, we'll bring you down. We're like, here's the guy. Anyway, Chadwick Gales, name of a king. Chadwick says, "What's up, guys? My name is Chadwick Gales. The lale lule lao.
Some name.
I want to start by saying I love the show. You guys get me through some long, boring days at work. I first heard you on Strange Familiars with Tim. My wife Sandra and I were on Tim's show a few years ago talking about our experiences. We are paranormal investigators and explore all aspects of the paranormal."
There you go then. Chadwick Gales, perfect name for that, really.
Yeah, that is like a spooky person's name.
Yeah, it is.
Somebody
Perfect,
call
really.
Chadwick Gales. This place needs to be
Yeah,
exercised. Pretty awesome.
You're not going to forget the name Chadwick Gales.
You can't.
Like, it's just not
I'll be
gonna
going to
happen.
bed tonight and my mind just be like, Chadwick Gales.
Yeah, it's not.
Chadwick
You're not
Gales.
forgetting that.
Why are you and Paula fighting? I screamed out Chadwick Gales' name during sex. On March 26, 2021, I took a personal day from work and decided to go out and look for Bigfoot. As you do. I'd love to tell my boss that's what I was doing.
I'm off for Bigfoot. lads.
I went to a place in the forest called Betty Knox, which is known around here for fly fishing. I hiked up a rather large pipeline to explore the woods at the top. While I was up there, I kept hearing a strange whistle that sounded like it had a buzz of electricity with it. Very weird. When I heard it, I tried to figure out where it was coming from. After a while, with no luck, I decided to leave. As I was driving down the dirt road to get to the main road, I looked over and saw a sandbank along the creek. I thought to myself, that would be a good place to look for tracks. Not expecting to actually find anything, I went over. When I got there, I found the strangest thing I'd ever seen. Large, three-toed tracks everywhere. The first thing that caught my eye was that it looked like two creatures had walked side by side, up out of the water, up the bank, and all over the place. The tracks measured 14 inches long by 6 inches wide. They were amazing. I was blowing up Sandra's phone because she was at work and I wanted her to see these. She met me there when she got off work and we started to cast some of the tracks.
Class. What a time to be alive.
That is pretty awesome.
He's
There's a great
off on his
picture there
break.
down as well. Yeah.
Hunted for Bigfoot, making casts.
I'd love to be like, Sorry, boss. I have to
Right.
not be in tomorrow because I'm hunting for Sasquatch.
I reckon a lot of like professional kind of those dudes that are out like hunting for Sasquatch, they've got it really fucking handy because like the dudes are out hiking all day, every day, and then just going, probably seeing Bigfoot around here somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Class.
Pretty class.
If I was in America, that's what I'd be doing probably.
You're like, you're getting excited about wild horses. Imagine like just finding Bigfoot tracks.
Yeah.
Like,
but that's what I'd be doing if I lived in America. Like that's it. I'd be out with Chadwick. The two of us would be out goosing around.
You and Chadwick Gales. You'd have to legally change your name to something cooler though.
Yeah.
Like Shadow Matrix or something like that. So while we were doing that, I heard a car door slam. I looked up and saw a game warden heading straight towards us. He walked over and started rubbing out and covering up the tracks.
Bastard.
So I screamed at him to stop. Stop it!
Yeah.
He stopped, just looked at me, and he looked pissed. I asked if he had ever seen anything like this before. He looked around for a minute, looked at me and said, yeah, you'll have that. Then turned around, got in his truck and left. That blew my mind. We got 5 good casts. We made 8 altogether, but 3 were too thin and fell apart when we took them out. We've seen countless UFOs and other strange things. We live in the Chestnut Ridge of southwest Pennsylvania, and this place is known for high strangeness.
Wouldn't be far from Tim, I think. Pennsylvania, is he?
He's in Pennsylvania, yeah.
So probably close to that.
I started a YouTube channel called Chestnut Ridge Paranormal where I post our evidence and experiences. I'm also getting ready to start a podcast called Paranormal Ridge to get local encounters out into the world.
Shouts out.
Yep.
Paranormal
So check that
Ridge.
out in a couple of weeks, guys. Or let us know, Chadwick, when it's up and running. We'll shout it out again. I've taken enough of your time now. I'll write back with more of our encounters soon. Until then, have a great day and stay fuzzy. We certainly will. Now, these molds are quite interesting.
We have the casts. We have pictures of the casts, folks, right here. Can you believe it? What a time to be alive. Yeah, they look fairly strange.
It's funny because wasn't there a thing that, and Tim's talked about it on Strange Familiars, the 3-toed bird lady.
All right.
It's like an old woman with the legs of a bird.
Pammy the pigeon.
Yeah, Pammy the pigeon. That's it. But it seems to be cited with Bigfoot a lot. But it's just the 3 toes on this kind of brought that to mind.
I just love cryptid lore. That's like, it's like there's a 3-toed woman that you'll only see with Bigfoot, and you're like, oh, okay.
You just say it straight face. You're like, oh yeah. But it is funny that he finds these.
Those look like, yeah, I would say at a glance, in all seriousness, I'm like, that's either like a fucking huge bird or
you could have ostriches, or like a friend of mine, his ma used to have an ostrich.
That's
and
true.
A few emus.
And emus, yeah.
So like if the ostrich broke free one night, and then you have a situation like the wild horses, maybe if enough of them break free, ostriches in the woods. But the first thing that came to my mind, it's reptilian looking, like it looks like more of a swamp or
Loveland Frogman.
Yeah.
Probably Loveland Frogman.
Loveland. Oh Jesus!
You're just breaking over there. You're cooking.
I'm like fucking the Colonel at the end.
I said, when's your next Christmas meetup? And then you're just over there cooking. Both of us are just fried.
Kitty, meow,
Totally
meow, cousin,
broke.
Lawton.
Yeah, those are really interesting casts, and what we'll do is, if I remember the famous last words, to stick them in on the video. Silly goose. What are you saying that for?
The worst part is he listens to this again, but still will forget to
I
put it in.
don't.
Over the minis, you just let him go.
No.
Yeah, the minis. You just
I don't
gotta
listen
let
back
them
to the
run
pods.
free.
No.
I thought you listened back when you were editing.
Me ballocks.
Just fired out.
Who's
there.
got time for that?
Not me, anyway.
That's to the surprise.
I listened to the first 2 minutes. Yeah, it should surprise absolutely no one. Occasionally, I listen to an episode. Say 1 out of every 10 episodes, I might listen to just to see what's going on in
life's
work.
too short to be doing that. Like,
To be listening to yourself. Yeah,
oh my God,
it's some like
this is
it's
real.
not- you never listen to it back and be like, "I'm so cool."
No.
You're always listening back going, "Ugh."
Yeah, the more you listen back, there's probably
More
worse off.
upset you are what you're saying.
Yeah, no. Listen, this is authentic stuff. We don't
Couldn't be
muck
more
about.
authentic.
We couldn't.
We do
actually,
muck about a lot.
as a matter of fact. Yeah, but no, you actually couldn't. do this podcast and listen back to both episodes in a week and have them like properly refined.
Oh no, you just wouldn't be able to put out 2 a week.
Because like what you're doing when you're like I edit the podcast audio wise, but I
You
don't
just
edit
have
it
like a
content
template
wise.
kind of a thing. Yeah.
Like I don't cut content.
We like this is director's cut.
Yeah. Like, well, there are times in the past, like to be candid, while we're live, which again most podcasters aren't, but there are times in the past where I'm like, oh, would it be better to just cut out all of our rambling nonsense and stick to the script and just put out the scripted ones, like not scripted, but where we're on topic on the main feed, and then Patreon is us and our nonsense.
You see, it
our usual nonsense.
It just kind of becomes like every other
that's true.
scripted podcast.
Yeah, that's kind of true. That's what I think. Like, but it has crossed my mind in the past where I'm like, oh, even just to try it and see what it came out like. But again, it's like
just start a ghosty podcast where you're just like, ooh. And then they died, and just be totally straight, or just like do it like you're really just like,
yeah, just like fuck's
like you're
sake.
so bored.
So,
like, probably true.
Yeah, no, I think someone said it to us that it was like they like the vibe of the podcast is more like people chatting in a pub, and that's what they like about it. And so
it's like a pub filled with maniacs.
Yeah. Or as Gordo described it, it's like at the party when you go down into the basement and no one's really in, but the lads are down there smoking joints and talking about it. Like that's this podcast.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
That's two people who can't smoke joints anymore. Yeah, that's us.
So that's fine. So that'll do us. So we're another cryptid. Like, so actually, before we go on to it, I suppose, what would we hang our hat on them casts actually being? Like realistically, like, so for reference, they are about the size of his foot. I would imagine. Maybe a bit shorter, so maybe they're like a size 10.
You're not gonna have
size 9.
You're not gonna have a birdo that big if it isn't sort of an ostrich that's just
Emu.
in there for some reason.
Now it is possible.
Emus are pretty small, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like the ostriches are the big boys, 6 feet ish.
It's possible that, like, you know, because we had like with the Loch Ness, the fake prints, like that someone was going around with a fucking ostrich foot.
What's interesting as well is your man who, the fella who says it's like he's trying to make sure people don't see them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have that. Have you ever seen anything like this? Yeah, you'll have that. That's kind of Men in Blackish kind of, or sorry, Men in Black. Like that's
yeah, they're really weird looking. They're
bizarre.
super interesting. It doesn't. It's an unusual looking print that I could only describe as being something bird like.
Yeah,
but other than that, I have no idea.
Yeah, I was thinking
really.
like Dogman hand. No, but even that 3, you'd have like 4 or 5. Yeah, it's bizarre. It's pretty cool though.
Very cool. Thanks for sending that in, Chadwick.
Thanks, Chadwick.
Right, we're on to the cryptids. We're talking a little bit about cryptids, Simon. Would you believe dodos extinct now? You know, people are kind of going like, is there not a dodo around? There isn't, but people do say that. You know, everyone associates the dodo with being kind of slow, crap. People said that, you know, they were that crap that they went into extinction. You know, they were like, they were just lying there.
Fake news, is
We
it?
came up and stabbed them, they didn't care. They practically jumped into the fire to get cooked. That's what people thought about dodos, you know. Wrong. Everyone's wrong. Dodos were fast and powerful, not slow and inept. Definitive preserved specimen suggests. So the dodo, which was long thought to be dim-witted and sluggish, was actually much more formidable than popular culture suggests. A recent study published in the Zoological Journal of the Linnean Society reveals that this iconic bird is not only powerful, but also fast-moving, like myself.
You'd be very zippy.
Debunking centuries-old misconceptions. That happens a lot on hikes. A lot of lads debunk your misconceptions because you'll get passed out by an old fella. Like,
there's some lads that like they don't look the part, but goddamn, their body is prepared.
There's a lad that passed us out up on the ascent yesterday, and he was like a fucking ninja. He was I'd say about 45, 50, but like barely, you couldn't even hear him breathing. Like I was breathing heavy. And like he was like doing these like little steps, but they're real quick. And he was just like super moving, super efficiently, and just like.
Was he like? Because I'm always curious. Because there's some like, was he in visually good shape.
Yeah,
or was he kinda-
slim dude.
Yeah,
but
because sometimes you see dudes who are like, they look like they should be pint men. But
Yeah,
they're
you
absolutely
get that on
dominating.
hikes,
Like, yeah.
hike fit people. There was a lad about 75 summited as well, and I was like, Jesus, fair play to you, bye.
Yeah, credit.
You know, some man, top shagger. When Dutch sailors landed on Mauritius in 1598, they encountered the dodo, a chubby flightless bird which was about 3 foot tall. Within 70 years, the dodo was extinct, largely due to human activities such as hunting, deforestation, and the introduction of invasive species. For years, the dodo has been used as a symbol of evolutionary failure, supposedly growing large and losing its ability to fly due to lack of predators. However, researchers have revisited early accounts of specimens, uncovering that the dodo, along with its close relative, the solitaire, that's the type of bird, would you believe, a solitaire.
Pretty cool.
Now, I thought that was
Plays
only a card
cards.
game. Yeah. It was well adapted to its environment. These birds were not clumsy, like the creatures of legend, but were members of the same family as pigeons and doves. El pigeon.
Catch the
With
pigeon.
strong tendons, suggesting that they were adept at climbing and running. So,
I like the chocobos.
yes, this new understanding not only changes our perception of the dodo, but also sheds light on its role in the ecosystem. Favorite extinct animal, not including dinosaurs.
Thylacine.
You like a thylacine?
We all like thylacine.
I do.
Oh,
but
sorry.
I'm talking about like
Not cryptid, sorry. You mean things that are extinct.
no.
Yeah.
Well, thylacine falls into that. Like,
It does, but I was thinking more cryptid.
Okay,
Yeah,
right.
you're like
so
actually
so like
that aren't around.
there's a big weird Balenciaga of a horse, fucking gorilla looking thing. That's cool. I don't know the name of it, but
Would we be allowed to say Gigantopithecus? It's not
Yeah.
technically dinosaur.
No, yeah, that
or
works.
Gigantopithecus, yeah.
yeah,
He's cool.
there's a elk that looks like it's kind of a cross between like a rhino, a gorilla, and a horse with a bit of a giraffe thrown in, and it's mad looking. That's cool. It's one of those.
You must show me a picture of that because that's my mind is trying to conjure that image and it's quite bizarre.
Yeah, it's got like more of a horsey kind of head, kind of giraffe, but it's hench, like, and it's like almost got that sloped silverback back, and then it's got the big arms and the big legs, like, well, 4 legs, but they look kind of like arms because they're so sturdy.
The way the front ones are
shithousey,
sort of, yeah.
big shithouse of it.
Oh, you big shit.
They were really cool.
What were they called?
Something therium. I want to say a calicotherium, but I could be totally wrong.
Calicotherium.
I could be that could be something else altogether.
I'm the fucking Calicotherium.
That's just something I'm pulling out my hole. It could be something else. That mastodon,
Yeah, Mastodon's pretty
woolly rhino, bit of a woolly rhino,
cool. Woolly Rhino's fun. Woolly Rhino's fun.
and the armadillo, giant armadillos.
I was going to say giant. Wasn't there giant anteaters as well?
Yeah. Giant
something
everything,
that.
man.
Just
Whatever you
Oh,
want,
actually, I
giant.
would like to see some Jabberwocky looking guys, big spiders,
Big
Resident
spiders.
Evil spiders.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I was playing Resident Evil Remake the
Oh,
other day,
yeah, okay.
right?
That's what
And
I'll
in
do.
that part where you find the first spider when
Yeah,
you're out
yeah.
in the outside bit.
Uh-huh.
When you first open the door, it zooms in close to you, and you just see the spider legs coming out into the roof
yes.
as a way of just making the most out of the tension. But when you come in the second time after killing the spiders, it doesn't have that angle. It's
No.
like a little Easter egg
Oh,
thing.
cool,
So
yeah.
it's just to like show. It's just a
Spooky.
little showcase of the spider, which I thought was quite a fun Easter egg.
Shouts out spiders.
Shouts out Resident Evil,
Shinji Mikami, is it?
Sweet Home.
Right. So we have a ghost story now, Emin, I believe. And this one is from Reddit. This is a terrifying experience in a barn, apparently.
Excellent. And we've all had terrifying experiences in a barn. So let's go story voice.
Oh.
You couldn't ask for a more beautiful spring day, 1984. I had just started as a drummer in a high school rock band. Yeah, playing fucking Def Leppard. Duran.
Motley Crue.
Motley Crue, yeah. The night before, my older brother and 2 friends of ours were practicing our new songs in the barn. I was really excited that they said I could be their drummer. I was just dying to get back to practicing that day.
If you want to be in bands, just be a drummer. It's really easy to get into bands once
bassists
you're a
and
drummer.
drummers.
It's super hard to
yeah,
get.
Yeah.
Bassists.
The only thing with being a drummer is
Bassists.
like it costs a lot.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And you
Like,
have to live in a non-build-up area,
yeah,
generally.
and you have to like
You have to have an old shed to be a drummer usually.
You need something.
A bit of an old shed.
Like, I was just thinking, if I ever have a kid and my kid wants to play drums, I'm gonna be so disappointed.
Yeah.
Because like guitar and bass, it's fine. Singing's a bit annoying because they have to learn.
Singing
to sing.
is annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if they're singing stuff you don't like.
Yeah.
Because my parents were always cool because I was learning to sing and like I was not hitting notes, shrieking, bag of cats kind of stuff. But they never got onto me.
Yeah, I'd say they were just having a laugh at you probably.
They're probably just like, listen to that dope.
Yeah.
And then
when you got good, you're doing
I got good.
There we go.
They were like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is that Chino Marino in the shower? That's Chino coming in our window.
Sharing your skin.
Is that Lane Staley in the bathroom?
Oh. Yeah. Every now and then I get in trouble because I'd be singing away, but you'd be singing curse words.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, when so you're 16, you're like, motherfucker! And my mom be like, give up with that now.
Yeah, I used to play like Eminem in the car to wind up my man.
I'd say your dad was alright with it, wasn't he?
I was like, check the CD out there, get that into.
Yeah, I could never.
Just to be cheap.
I put on Glassjaw one day for me dad, and my dad literally got angry. He was like, "This isn't music, like proper." Like he was like, "What even is this?" Like fucking New York hardcore. He was like, "Enough."
Did you buy me a coat?
Jesus Christ!
The goat. Actually, Gordo was asking questions about the goat.
He wants evidence of the goat.
Do we have?
I'd say the evidence has been lost. I would imagine.
Ask your ma though, because I actually do think that your ma's the type of woman that would keep any receipts for the goat. I do think she would.
I would be very surprised if my ma. I know you feel like you know my family real well because they're firing money at you, but I would be very surprised if my ma kept that receipt. The other thing is
the receipt. I'm sure there was like a pamphlet of like, congratulations, here's your
goat.
Oh
yeah, it's like, here's your goat.
That's what I think is around.
Possibly. I don't think so. Possibly.
Mas keep everything.
See, this was even before, like, she didn't even have an email. Like, this was a voucher kind of a thing. This is like way back.
But did you have like a little picture of the goat or anything?
That's what she gave me. I'm pretty sure I threw it in the fire. Like,
fuck's sake.
I don't think there's any evidence. Yeah, but I mean, it's funnier to think of my ma at a time before Photoshop, like making fake ghost leaflets because she forgot to buy us things for Christmas.
Do you think that's what it was?
No. She just was like, this is nice. This is a good thing to do. My children will understand. And me and Anna were like, to be fair, I think Anna did.
Did Anna get a go as well?
Everyone got a go.
Oh, cool.
Go Christmas, go see Christmas. It was
the whole family was benefiting out of it.
But I think the thing was, I turned it up. Like, I was like, this is absolutely reprehensible behavior. And my sister was like, I'm glad that poor people have a go. And I was like,
nice.
Yeah, but she knew. She like, you know, she just looked. She's like, ha ha, 4D chess brother, little brother snake, little sister snake.
The visual, like, as I was making that clip for social media and stuff. What age were you roughly?
I don't know. I'd say early teenager.
Yeah, just that image of you, because for our listeners, Eamon very rarely loses his cool. So the image of you absolutely losing your shit.
To be fair, I do think I was exaggerating how much I exaggerated how much I lost it. But I did like, McGee, you're a good mom, but this is totally unprofessional.
The visual of you, like, just fucking flipping
my little
out.
red head.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how upset you'd be when, like, because Ma's, like, my ma always gets me a purple jumper. Like, that's like every Christmas it's a maroon. Now, usually they're really high quality, very nice. They're hoodies.
They do suit you. A burgundy or a purple?
Burgundy works for me,
Burgundy suits.
So she always gets that, and I'm delighted with it. But like, if I got a burgundy card, here's a fleece for a sheep. Like, what?
Yeah, that age is that shit don't fly when you're 13.
See, when you're 13,
you can't be giving me a goat.
But you're angry about everything anyway, all the time.
You're also, I would say, at that age, like 13, 14 especially, you're like peak materialistic. Like, I want what I want.
You're super embarrassed.
You're starting to understand the value of money, but also you know that Santa Claus is coming to town. So you're like, but you also know your parents are probably Santa. So you're like, get me loads of shit. Like, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, I got a lot. Like, when I was about 12, 13, I was like, this ain't going to last forever. Like, I've got about 6 years left of this bullshit. I need to start up in the ante here. Load of PlayStation 2 games. Let's go.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I think at this point, look, Santa was out the window by this for me and my sister, I would imagine, at this point. But they just look.
Well, yeah, like, I knew Santa wasn't real when I was like 8, but you have to keep up the facade until you're about
Yeah.
11,
Yeah.
something like that, 12.
It's kind of a weird thing, isn't it? Just the idea of like I did suspect for a while that at some point, like they told me there was the Easter Bunny, right? And then it's like, nah, he was
bollocks.
never
part of it.
Then you have Santa's like, that's crap. And I was pretty sure, like, when maybe I was going to be 14 or 15, I would be like, all that stuff we were telling you about God, that's nonsense. Because Santa is almost more omnipresent than God and the Bible. Granted, you don't have giant churches for Santa Claus and Christmas, but like, do you know what I mean? You could almost have that paranoia about this is all a ruse to just, and it almost makes sense. It's a ruse to make you act good until it's ingrained in you.
Well, that's all it is. Yeah, it's like literally like
But also,
September comes around, the next thing starts being like, oh, you had to behave yourself now, or you're not getting none for Christmas.
No, but I mean, God. Like, I thought that they might say, actually, God is just nonsense as well.
But that's fair enough. Like, that's a reasonable thought to have as a child.
But like, yeah, and you start to think about it. And then I remember getting really angry because I was forced to go to church till I was like 16. And I remember
Church of England.
Well, I was going to church. I was going to mass. I was going to Catholic church, but then going to Protestant school at like 11 and 12 and just being massively confused. I
was just thinking about that because sometimes it pops into my head, the bizarreness of that scenario, because it popped into my head yesterday actually because I drove past the Orange Order Hall up in County Down, and I was just thinking to myself, and I was like, you would have missed out on a lot of those like weird cultural Irishy school things because you were in so like a lot of that kind of like, like that, those like annoying meme kind of things that you'd see on the internet and stuff about, say, growing up in like an Irish school. You didn't have a lot of that really, because in yours you had to fucking face the Cromwell poster and
you had to worship face Mecca and chant Cromwell's name.
Get down on the floor in front of Cromwell.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd say they were similar enough. I think the difference was like Church of Ireland people, generally speaking, are like,
watch out now.
No, nothing bad about them, but like I was just talking to my ma about this yesterday. I was like, all the kids in my class did like really well.
Yeah, of course they did, yeah.
Because the Church of Ireland,
Illuminati, like
the planters wanted more from their children than the Catholics.
Protestant Illuminati.
So it's funny to think back to it, and I was like, God damn! Like I was like, they all did quite well.
Yeah, but now there's more to it now than that. Now it's not just that their parents wanted them to do well. Like,
well, obviously they had to achieve things and all, but also like it's in a little microcosm of probably. A little sphere where that's expected, You
could get conspiratorial,
am a doctor, so you will become a doctor.
Well, no, you could get conspiratorial and say that obviously, like the people that were like long established Protestants in Ireland would have a better structure and root system and ties to better
and
jobs.
The fact, like if you came over as a planter, you probably had a lot of money, so you were sort of lordish. Lording it over us Catholics.
It's what we did, and then my idiot family started to squander all the money, but. Yeah,
how many generations do they say it takes to go broke? 3 or 4 generations?
Well, I can tell you from experience, 2. So
it took the Billingtons 2. The Billingtons did it in 2, ladies and gentlemen.
Literally 2. And to make it worse, I had on both sides. So like, not only did I have like rich ass Protestants, I had rich ass Catholics as well. Because like
both fucking.
My granny's side from Wexford was a boil, like, but all her family were like hardcore IRA. But like she owned, she would have been a pioneer at the time herself. She was like, she owned like something like 30 or 40 houses around Wexford town, and a lot of pubs.
How do you lose 40 houses worth of?
Back then it was so expensive to maintain them. So like if you had that amount of houses, basically you needed like a team of people to repair them and keep them in repair.
But you could just...
So it just became...
But could she not... Did she not
the
just
rent,
sell them all to the...
There was no money in rent or selling at the time.
Even selling to the council.
Great Depression.
Yeah, I suppose it's so long ago. It's mad, isn't it, how you look back and you go, if only I'd kept that comic book. Yeah. If only I'd kept those 40 houses that I used to own.
Yeah, it's fairly when you hear about it, like my granddad has been telling me stories now, and I'm like... good stuff.
Like remember I sent you a link to that Resident Evil comic before? Like I had that, and I bought it for £5 in the United Kingdom in Bath. And I'm just wondering, like Cromwell. Yeah, there's statues of Cromwell everywhere. Cromwell familiars follow you around the town. But I was just thinking, like, that must be worth, that's like 1998 maybe that came out. But that must be worth, not like silly money, but it's appreciated well, I'd imagine.
I had a Resi comic as well. I don't know which one, but I had one back then. Yeah. Like, I think a graphic novel maybe or something.
There was one graphic novel that looked really good, 2000, I want to say 5, 4, or 6, something like that. So, but yeah, good times. Anyway, we're going mad
back
again.
to the barn. Fucking hell.
Drumming in the barn.
Edit it all out. It's time to edit it out. We're back. There's a drummer. He's
Yeah.
excited to play in Motley Crue.
A drummer who's excited to play drums in a barn with his brothers where we are.
Yeah.
There we go. I had a plan to go to the front door that was close to the drum set. If anything weird happened, sorry, I skipped I didn't skip a paragraph.
That hard, isn't it?
All right, yeah, right, okay, weird. I had a plan to go in the front door that was close to the drum set. If anything weird happened, I could get out of there fast. That was the plan anyway. When I got to the door and tried to open it, I noticed that it was off the track and could only open 5 to 6 inches. That's all right, I thought. I can squeeze through there. So with a bit of effort, I managed to squeeze myself in. It took some time though. Keep on drumming, you'll lose all that weight, you'll be grand. Mm-hmm. Great, now I can get to practice. And practice I did for at least an hour or so. Then I did a rim shot on the snare drum a little too hard, and the drum head just split open. God
rim
damn.
shots.
Yeah, classic rim shot. Rim shots do sound cool when they're used well, to be fair. Yeah, rim shots. Now I'm frustrated. So, I'm frustrated to say the least. I throw a tantrum and I throw a big drumstick. It flies up into the haymow on the other side of the barn. I watched it bounce into the back addition upstairs. I calmed down pretty quickly since I came to the realization that I have to go up there to get it, but practicing was over till I got a new drum head anyway. Classic drum head issues. So I moved the hi-hat out of the way. It's like someone who's never played drums but knows the words of the things. So I moved the hi-hat out of the way and began to walk towards the ladder to retrieve the drumstick. I looked up towards where the drumstick landed and it was flying right towards my head. I had to move out of the way or it would have hit me. Remember, I was alone in there. It hit the wall behind me, making a loud noise that startled me, on top of already being terrified by a flying drumstick. Without hesitation, I went straight to the door. I forgot that I had to squeeze in. I was just terrified and just wanted to get out, but I was going to have to take the time to squeeze back out. While doing so, I mistakenly looked over at the drum set. The bass drum mallet that his foot operated went down like someone had stepped on it. Seeing this move by itself was bad enough, but it also hit the drum hard enough that I could feel it in my chest. I actually thought that my heart had stopped. I was so scared that I forced myself through the door, tearing my clothes and putting big scratches on my back and chest. Once I was out, I ran towards the house about 15 or 20 feet and then I just collapsed. We never practiced in that barn again, not because of what happened to me, but because the lead guitarist bumped into someone or something in the dark the night before we got done practicing. There was nobody there and he knew it. He told my mom about it a few days later. He wouldn't even go in to get his equipment. My brother had to go and get it for him. This drumstick event was without a doubt the most terrifying I've had in my life. I always considered that barn beyond haunted and into the realm of evil.
What do you reckon about all that then?
Yeah, maybe some sort of... It sounds like the ghost was trying to get the hang of drums because you have to like the hi-hat and the kick drum. You know, you have to use your feet for that. Maybe the ghost only had... Maybe it was someone who was cut in two and only had legs. And they volleyed the drumstick back and then tried to use the hi-hat. And
it's like the Fresno Nightcrawlers.
Pretty much, yeah, like an invisible Fresno Nightcrawler.
Maybe it's the ghost of Keith Moon.
Could be the ghost of Keith Moon. He blew himself up.
Joey Jordison, is he dead? Could be him.
He's dead.
Is he?
He's
Rest
dead.
in peace, Joey. What a drummer.
Yeah, I don't think
what a talent.
He was a brilliant drummer. Yeah,
Fantastic.
Speaking of kick drums.
One of the best.
Hi-hats. One of the best to ever do it.
He was?
He was.
No, legitimately.
Yeah,
like,
mask.
Joey was the king.
No one knew who he was for a long time.
They didn't know.
How did he die again? Did he get big into the old drugs? He was like...
I don't know that.
All the lads Damien Dempsey knows. Jacinta's on the drugs. Peter's on the drugs.
I don't know. Yeah,
Ecstasy and drugs.
It's hard to know, so a couple of them have died, to be fair. And like
when you have 9 members, the possibility of dying does go up significantly. Especially the way that they, I suppose, must have lived their lives and their live shows. You got the impression that they were wild men at the best of times.
Yeah, Greta putting on a live show though. Class. I seen him one time.
I never saw him, no.
Supporting Metallica. Have you ever seen Metallica live?
Yeah. In the RDS when Linkin Park played with him that time and everyone was throwing bottles at Linkin Park.
Yeah, when I seen him was more satisfying because it was I was going to say he who shall not be named, but it was the Lost Prophet supporting
Oh.
him, and he got bottled off stage.
Did he?
Yeah, that was quite
Yeah.
nice in hindsight, really.
He's getting shanked now
Yeah, hopefully.
off
He did,
stage
didn't he?
as well. He got shanked in prison, yeah.
Yeah,
And he was like, "Oh, Megalols,
Evil.
he's a bad man. He's the most evil singer of all
Ever.
time, I think. I think, like, of all the singers that have ever lived, he's the most evil.
he's that evil that they don't even have him on Spotify.
He's that evil. His ex-bandmates can't even make money
No,
from the song
That's
this day.
how evil he is.
They can't do
Lost
anything. Like,
Prophets.
he not only... Like, he literally left dozens of lives in tatters.
Yeah, an evil man.
And the worst,
He's pure, like...
he could use some profits,
He could.
you know?
Found prophets is what he needs to do. He needs to go
Well,
find
like-
prophets.
But apparently, I read some article, because it was an article about an ex-girlfriend of his, and she was talking about, like, how he used to be real nice, apparently. And then she said he just got mad into the drugs, just into
Alright, yeah.
But he was on crack cocaine and stuff like that, and he just changed, apparently.
Alright.
But I don't think you can just change into one of them. I don't think that happens.
Unlocked, yeah.
I don't think,
it
like,
works
you take
that.
enough drugs and you're like, ooh, now I do this.
Yeah, no, evil bastard.
I think, yeah.
Heinous.
But it was literally the most evil thing, because it was like, it was almost just gravitating towards what's the most
Evil.
awful subversion of good, if that makes sense. So, like, the subversion is like everybody is like, oh, look how cute the baby is and take care of the baby, and he was like the opposite of that. Whereas, like, I think that's, you know, children are innocent, obviously, and that's why people get, you know, if someone hurts a child, it's like the worst thing you can do, because they're powerless and innocent. And he's like, yeah, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Like, just...
Purely evil cunt.
I mean, he sang some good choruses, but you can't redeem yourself. I mean, Jeff Hardy had a promo, and they were like standing on a rooftop.
Oh, yeah,
was the
yeah.
song
Oh, yeah.
Last Train Home, Shinobi versus Dragon. They were fun songs, but you can't listen to them in good faith anymore. If that comes on, I have to turn it off.
No, you
like,
can't. It's done.
but it wouldn't even come on by
The
mistake.
evilness.
Like,
No, it doesn't
they're
now.
not on
No, it's
Spotify at
done.
all.
It's done. It's done. No, I think they're gone.
I just want to validate that they are gone.
I think they are.
I do feel bad for the other members
so
of the
do I,
band, to be
but-
fair.
You know. You live by the gun, you die by the gun,
What were
unfortunately.
they called again?
Lost Prophets. You probably have them their plotted playlists and all of it.
Yeah. No, they're there.
Are they?
Yeah,
Ah, sure,
Spotify
sure.
don't give a...
I don't think they were always there though, so there we go.
Last Train Home, Rooftops, Shinobi versus Dragon Ninja.
I'm actually, do you know what? I'm going to try and cancel them now. I'm actually
I'm gonna have
incensed.
to cancel my Spotify
Yeah, I
membership.
mean,
No, because look, he's not making any money. Look at sure, there he is. Look at the big...
Well, yeah, that shouldn't be a thing. But you need to do now is keep listening to that, right? So your Spotify Wrapped is like that, then Gary Glitter.
Michael Jackson. Just like listeners only. I nearly create a separate account and just... That's hilarious.
Ralph Harris.
Ralph Harris, two little boys. It'd be like the photo. Rate that pederast.
Just posted on Instagram like
This
class.
is what I mean. Just 5 of the
Your
most
Spotify
heinous.
Wrapped class.
We just have to find. So who do we have? Your man Watkins, Ralph,
Michael
Gary Glitter,
Jackson.
Michael Jackson. That's 4. Is there any other famous?
Just already, yeah. I mean, like, let me
Did
think.
Harvey Weinstein ever release any songs or anything? Did he
Yeah, I
ever?
think he was in like a bebop band or something. There's surely some other heinous bollocks. Who is
Gigi Allen's like
No,
kind of heinous
no,
in a
I-
good way. Like,
good?
no, I mean,
but-
good is an overstate.
yeah.
But when we're talking about these other, well, not this particular man. How do we get into these murky, muddy waters on the podcast?
Yeah, it's just hard, you know. Lost Prophets.
Let's
You
see,
know.
how many times has it been listened to? Let's see now.
There's just a lot of people that are probably not privy to him being such a fucking dirtbag bollocks. Like,
Rooftops has 23 million
that
listens.
just shouldn't be.
How much do they get per listen on Spotify?
much,
Like point
to be fair.
zero
Not much, to be
1
fair.
cent.
That shouldn't be. A thing.
Yeah, but with 23 million, let's see now. How much do you get per, like a cent a listen or something like that? Is that would that
something
be
like
fair?
Probably. Nah, I don't know. Look,
Let's assume that
Right.
they get a cent a listen.
I don't think it's even that much.
So
To be quite
25.
honest with you. Yeah, sure. Look, you know. This is not really great podcasting here now, Eamon. You looking up lost profits as income, their GDP.
I mean, it's 25 million if they get 10 cent a listen.
Yeah. They don't though. 10 cent a listen is way ridiculous number.
250,000 if they get 1 cent a listen.
Yeah, just maybe
200, and that's only, now keeping in mind, that's only rooftops. We haven't even added up Shinobi versus Dragon Ninja and Last Train Home.
Watch out, folks. We're going to cancel them.
Wow.
So, I found an article that I thought was quite interesting. So I've summarized it here a bit, but it's where we might find aliens in the next decade, which will be a lovely segue into our alien movie discussion once we're done. The search for alien life is more than just a sci-fi fantasy. It's a serious scientific endeavour that's gaining momentum. While the idea of little green men has captured our imaginations for decades, scientists are now methodically hunting for signs of life beyond Earth, with the potential for groundbreaking discoveries in the next decade. Why is space black? Several missions are already underway. On Mars, NASA's Perseverance rover is collecting samples that could reveal whether life once thrived on the red planet. Yeah, did you see they found all that water on Mars?
They found like actual water?
Under they reckon, yeah.
I didn't know that. I knew they'd found evidence that water had been there before.
They're fairly sure that there's water, well, a liquid under the surface now.
Pretty cool.
They reckon like there's talk even of underground oceans kind of.
So they could like
which would be mad.
Mine through the outer crust.
Think about what about sharks? What about on Mars underwater under the crust sharks?
What if we do crack the top of it and then all these mad like weird aquatic
class?
Maybe they're not even aquatic. Maybe Mars is a prison and they're all in the center of it in like a blitzball type.
Yeah. I mean, there could be, sure, who knows? I wouldn't be at all surprised if, like, they got into that and they found, like, animals that are, like, similar to what's on Earth, and then it's a big whole fucking, like, humanity goes into a big mad existential nuts crisis where we're like, what the fuck? Like, I would not be surprised at all. I'm just talking about my whole here. I have absolutely no authority on it or anything. But, like, I would not be surprised at all if they did find something class that is also on Earth. And then you're like, oh...
Like dolphins or something.
Not dolphins, like it's not like I call a dolphin. But like I'm talking like, you know them little tardigrade dudes, little space pigs and all them. Like them or like amoebas or like sort of
no, I want to find something cool, like big and cool.
Triops. Anything like sea monkeys. If they were to find sea monkeys, and that's big. I want them
to find something big.
But that's just as good. But like,
I want the animal to be big.
But but that's just as good. What I'm saying is
not as good.
It is just as good because what it means is it could evolve into that, or something like that already existed there once upon a time.
Megalodon is better.
Of course, it's better.
That's what I want. I want a big cosmic octopus that can float through space.
Okay, so they find an octopus
to wreak havoc.
If they find an octopus, what I'm trying to say here is, if they find something like that, then that means it either started there or started here.
Well, yeah, there's that whole theory that we are Martians.
Yeah,
part of
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's super interesting. Like if or it means it's like a convergent evolution kind of scenario where the conditions on Mars at one point in time were good enough for life to evolve to a point where it was fairly intelligent.
Did you ever see that movie where there's rock spiders on Mars?
Yes, I did actually.
Like Apollo 16 or something like that.
I did see that film a long time ago.
Yeah.
That came out in like the early 2010s, was it?
It's a while ago. It's like a found footage type.
Yeah, it wasn't
where
great,
you never really see the rock monsters.
Yeah, and then you only really see him towards the end as well, don't you? It's a bit crap.
And even at that, you don't really see him.
I didn't like that film.
Rock spiders isn't as good as actual spiders.
No, I mean
actual Mars spiders might have been scarier.
Yeah, but it's cool food for thought. Like, I mean, it'd be fairly, put it this way, it'd be fairly depressing if they got down in there and there's literally nothing in it. It's just like water or a liquid where there's nothing present whatsoever. That'd be kind of disappointing, I suppose. But like, if they did get down there and they found stuff that is very similar to what we have on Earth, that just blows everything open. Like, that's really exciting. It's crazy. Yeah. Like, it's proper crazy, because then the whole argument of like, our life could only evolve the way it is on Earth goes out the window.
Yeah,
straight away,
because it's obviously evolved in different ways,
and it's in our solar system. So then you're like, wait, if it happened in our solar system on two planets, then chances are
then you might think that all the other planets are. Yeah.
So big ramifications to it. So several missions are already underway. NASA's Perseverance is doing that shite. Meanwhile, probes are exploring the icy moons of Jupiter and Saturn, like Europa and Enceladus, which may harbour oceans beneath their frozen surfaces, prime candidates for life. Europa was one that I was always really into as a young stoner, reading a lot of Arthur C. Clarke. Obviously would get you into Europa, but Europa has huge potential. For our listeners that aren't aware, it's basically an ice planet, or like a moon, and they reckon that underneath the frozen sort of crust there's big ass oceans. So big potential there for something weird. Like Enceladus, I can't really remember much about. But the search doesn't stop within our solar system. Astronomers are using powerful telescopes such as the James Webb to study exoplanets, planets orbiting other stars. By analysing the atmospheres of these distant worlds, they hope to find chemical signatures that could indicate life. The TRAPPIST-1 system, cool name, with its 7 Earth-sized planets, is particularly intriguing. And ongoing research could soon reveal whether any of these planets have atmospheres that could support life. Imagine like a dinosaur planet. Class.
Yes, dinosaur planet would be class.
Class, like.
To a rock planet.
Yeah, that'd be class. Yeah. The search for intelligent life is also ongoing. While early attempts to detect alien radio signals came up empty, new initiatives like Breakthrough Listen are expanding the search to more distant regions of the galaxy, with upcoming telescopes like the Square Kilometre Array set to greatly enhance our capabilities. A breakthrough could happen at any moment. However, discovering alien life, if it happens, is likely to be a gradual process rather than a dramatic revelation. Scientists emphasize the importance of ruling out false positives and ensuring that any claims are backed by solid evidence. Whether we find microbes on Mars, signs of life on an exoplanet, or even a distant radio signal from an intelligent civilization, such a discovery would forever change our understanding of our place in the universe. Yet, there's also the possibility that our search will turn up empty, suggesting that life might be rare or even unique to Earth. Either way, the quest for alien life is one of the most fascinating and profound scientific pursuits of our time.
No.
Class, either way.
Class.
Do you know why it's class either way?
Why?
Because it's class if we find aliens, obviously. But then it's obviously class if we're just unique. Like, it's a bit lonely, but like, it's fairly class. Like.
Oh, we all have each other. So
we have
like
each other. Like.
It's like we're all just this species. And we even like other things that are like aliens. Like if you've never seen a horse, like a wild horse, and then you just saw a wild horse on Mars, you'd be like, that's a class alien.
True.
Like if we just didn't have horses.
Yeah, that's true.
And then there was just a horse there.
Or octopuses, which are very like that.
Which they reckon there's like theories about them being aliens as it is, which is fun.
Do you think it's do you think it lends more or less to God if we are the only thing in the solar system? Probably means you'd probably be more religious then, right?
Certainly, I suppose if you read the text, they don't really talk about aliens in them. So yeah, I guess. And
like the creation event, then it'd be more likely to be just Earth focused, and then all the rest is just like fucking scraps that he threw off to the side. He was like, don't need that planet. Fuck off Europa.
Yeah, you'd wonder like if you were God, it's almost like a developer's sandbox, right?
Yeah.
If you made humans, like you're like, well, why did you make the other, the other 8 planets or whatever, and the sun, and like why you make all those? What's the point? Like, do you know what I mean? Why make the solar system? Like,
that could be just how his brain works, though. Do you know what I mean? Like that, like logically could be the way that he puts it together. Much like logically the way we paint is we put our paint in an easel or in a thing. I suppose
and how does a gecko think about the lights that are shone into its into its little tank?
Like our painter's tray easel is what you put the thing on?
Easel is what you put the canvas on, and then
then
the little,
what's that called? There's a fucking name on that.
The painty wood.
Paint
dish.
Yeah, but like that tray, like, so the way that, when you see a paint and all the paints are together, they look class on the canvas. But like on that, they just look like a bunch of individual colours that you kind of mix together, plop up. Like those little individual colours, they could be the solar system, son.
Is it? We don't know.
We don't know the mechanism of
the machinations of
Jehovah.
God. Yahweh. Yeah, it is a mad thing though, like, and that's, as we're talking about that, I can feel my brain, and my brain does a check every now and then where it goes, whoop, are you alright? Because this is the kind of stuff that like brought me nearly to psychosis when I'd be smoking too much blem. So just when you start to feel there, your brain's going, "You all right? Everything all right? We good?" But it's one like sometimes I wonder about astrophysicists and people who like their whole life, like Einstein, and they're coming up with theories and maths to prove these outlandish, audacious theories of how the universe works. I don't understand how you stay sane, or even like philosophy, because it's such a discipline of thinking in strange ways that like I don't always understand how you can pay for a sandwich. Do you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, you have to piss and shit and eat and whatever. It seems so hard to get back there when you're talking about how.
I suppose the philosophy would be to just kind of sometimes I even apply this to myself when I get a bit sort of existentially and why bother? It's just that you're observing and experiencing something that's entirely unique. And every single person is observing and experiencing something totally different. And you may as well enjoy the ride.
Yeah, I don't think we're like meant to figure it out.
No.
I don't think we can. I think there's some mechanism in our brains that won't let us.
Yeah, probably.
Because if we figured it out, I don't know what that would happen.
It's like a hack.
If we did figure it out tomorrow, like it's not like people are just like the priest wouldn't be like, oh, well, off with the fucking thing. Like I think things would just, same way like, when you're talking about what it'd be cool if we found like a, life in the waters of Mars. But I don't think it would actually change anything for most of us. Yeah. Do you know what, like in our immediate environment?
There was probably a time in human history where like humans didn't know that you died of old age, that was possible. So then like there was probably humans that were like, oh, what will happen if I can preserve myself long enough? Do I live forever?
Well, that seems to be a big thing. Yeah. Or even if you think about what would have happened, like what would have happened if all those guys who were going on expeditions in the 19th century to find Macaulay and Bembe, what if they did find them? Yeah. What if we found loads of dinosaurs? What if it turned out there was way more, and Jabba Fofi and all the boys were there? Cool. What way would our society be? Like what I mean is like,
humans keep humaning, it doesn't matter, man.
Well, there is, because I think I heard Joe Rogan saying it, but it was an interesting theory where he said, what if like the reason we keep making things is because that's like we're the only animal that keeps remaking the same thing and making it more efficient and better and cooler.
Super Street Fighter 4 and all.
Super Street Fighter 4, Ultra Street Fighter 4, Ultra Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition. But what if that's like what we're supposed to do? Our evolution is trying to do with something, and it's trying to merge, like, and that's why AI. Like, did you hear that Alice in Chains AI song I sent you earlier?
I seen one of the first things with AI where I was like, aha, it's right around the corner. It was a video, and it was a video of just a girl that was supposed to be a YouTuber, but it was entirely artificially generated, but
and it looked nearly perfect,
really fucking good. Like if you didn't know that it was like, so I'm on the Midjourney subreddit, so you know that it's Midjourney, but like if it wasn't posted to the Midjourney subreddit, I'd be just like, oh, this is just another video. Right. It's going to be really like, you've got like, so once I seen it, I imagined something, and if I was more of a creative person, I probably would have even wrote something about it, or because it was kind of inspired me, because how bizarre it's going to be in the future. But I imagine fairly soon in the future it's going to be a thing where like you can basically like generate an image of whatever female you want, right, and basically have her talking to you in real time as a video and speaking as you want her to speak. So like it would be possible for me to like me or you to go, oh, I want to go out with X girl, I want to have like, and basically that will be your partner, because like they're on your phone, they know you via AI, and now they realistically look like an actual person that can respond in real time.
It's such a mad thing, is it? Because there's an element that we would call like truth, or like not fidelity, but like like some sort of truth or some sort of kernel of life, I suppose, right, that exists. Because imagine like the relationships that we have with their significant others, if you were to consider that was like, imagine it was just they were a robot, you'd feel hard done by, right, to put it lightly. There'd be a lot of things going on that you'd have to kind of you'd have to square off. But it will be a weird thing when like it's like a thing that can't feel. I think that's the thing that's tricky about it. We are animals of emotion. and there'll be a thing that's just catered to us.
I think, yeah, and there'll be a lot of people that will be happy with that.
Yeah.
So like, let's do the sell to some people, to like an 18-year-old lad who's like can't get chicks. It's like, do you want to be trying like to go out to a nightclub and getting rejected over and over again, or do you want to go out with Sydney Sweeney on your phone, who knows you personally?
And the algorithm might even like.
Do you know what I mean?
But is that it? Like this is kind of what I'm thinking as well. Is this what nature? Because nature,
you're saying is that what it's intended on?
Well, nature,
because it's human.
Well, this is part of
nature.
it, because it kind of was like, I have dinosaurs, now I have this, now I do that, now, and it just keeps changing me. And I don't know if there is a design behind this, which I suppose no one does. Because if there is, then that would sort of not. It doesn't mean there's a God. It just means there is a design, and where is that taking us? But AI, and this is a weird thing, but AI is nature as well.
So like our destiny.
Everything that exists in this planet is nature.
It's a human creation. So,
but like, it's mad. Yeah, is that what we're doing? We're creating this sort of machine world.
It's just as human as like a painting or like a song or a really nice composition.
But it's like if the painting painted back.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But it's still human creation.
And then what we want, we want this level of authenticity. That's what I was looking for earlier. From the AI, which people talk about the singularity and what if it becomes self-aware. I don't think that the AI can, because I think we're projecting our own emotion onto the technology that doesn't have it. There's
been a couple of papers recently where they kind of did threat assessments for AI and like they determined that it's not that big of a threat in its current state at all. They were like, it's actually not.
Because the fear for us is that the fear for us is about the
that could have been an AI study now. But
that's true, yeah. But the technology would take on a persona of, what we would say is a dictator, but I don't think it has the ability to create a personality. I think what AI will wind up becoming is so much further than what we can comprehend. Or could you have AIs against each other, like the rebel AIs, and like if Skynet.
Probably.
Do you know, like the way Terminator fights Skynet? And
probably. So that probably already is a thing. Like, so like, the big world superpowers probably all have custom AI trained on their own data sets.
So then you might have an AI that was like, the idea of the AI was that you have this virtual girlfriend or virtual boyfriend, but they're actually helping you to become a better person, a stronger person, a more actualized person.
That's true, I get you.
But then you might also have one that's like, it's trying to make sure you don't ever do anything, and you're just, all you're doing is beating off.
Well, imagine here's a fucking hellish and likely scenario. Big mad butsy AI companion, right? That like you can chat to whenever you want on your phone, but then it's like selling you things in real time, where it's like, buy my
fans,
buy my DLC fucking bikini. Do you know what I mean? Like, here, buy this big mad bad dragon.
There is an element of having a girlfriend or a wife that is like that at times as well. Like, every time I go anywhere with Paula, she's like, "That's nice. Buy it for me," and I'm just like, "No." It's a switch, but it's turned into a bit of a joke now, where like she'd be like, "Get me this," and I'm like, "No, I'm not getting you that." And I never did really, like, I wasn't that way, but now
sugar daddy.
Where's the sugar? Where's the
You're a fucking Candrel daddy,
saccharine father? Like, no sugar.
Candrel daddy.
No, I just be like, look, you want to fuck off? Buy what you want with your own money and leave me alone.
No, I think spooky times ahead, interesting times ahead. Those were tossed across my mind. We both went to see Alien this weekend. First time I've been to cinema in like 2 years. I don't remember last film I was at. Loved it. Thought it was really good.
It was very good. I don't know if I loved it, but I thought it was very good.
Well, I loved it because I think, like, in terms of an Alien film, I mean,
it's great. Yeah,
I mean, Alien fucking Covenant was wank.
Prometheus. I wasn't a fan of Prometheus.
Prometheus I preferred to Alien Covenant, but only just.
The thing
Charlize Theron brought it up like one bar of a rating.
The thing I like about the Alien movies is that this actually, the new one is the most like another Alien movie.
Yeah, that's what you want.
But what I mean by that is, like, you had Alien, which is a horror movie, Aliens, which is an action movie, Alien 3, which is a thriller movie, Alien Resurrection is like an adventure movie, Prometheus is like some sort of weird dark exploration movie, Covenant, I don't know what the fuck is going on with Covenant is bizarre. But they're always almost a different genre, which is a real interesting thing to do when you're like making movies like that. And I felt that this one was a really good kind of a mesh between Alien 1 and Alien 2.
Yeah,
and there's like a sprinkle of Alien 4 for the big bad, you know. But
no, I think there was a couple of bits that I was like, I could take it or leave. Like,
yeah.
But
same as I thought it was very good. Like it's a solid like 8.
That's what I would have given it, an 8. I really liked. I think that one is a really good actress though, because I'd seen her in. Kira had on that Priscilla film. She plays Priscilla Presley.
Oh right.
She's really good in that flick, and like she's really good actress. And so in this film, I was like, I recognize her, but I didn't know where she's from.
She had a really like an expressive.
Yeah,
face.
she does. That's
like,
what I think it is. Yeah, she's quite good.
She's able to convey a lot of
big
emotion.
boots to fill as well. You know, Sigourney Weaver.
No, I thought it was really good.
She's like the opposite of Sigourney, because like Sigourney was like, I didn't realize, but Sigourney Weaver's like 6 foot tall. She's like a big fucking. She's
unit.
Yeah, so she had a really sort of commanding presence in those films, but also like a kind of feminine vibe too.
Yeah.
So like she was the original fucking femme fatale,
chick, like,
femme fatale heroine.
Because what was really cool is you had like the first movie Sigourney, obviously, and then the second movie you get like Vasquez, who's like the a powerlifting woman, but also like I thought that was really good. They did that because you had the sort of emasculated man, and it wasn't Bill Paxton.
No, it was the other guy.
The other guy, But like but the characters, you know, they're kind of cookie cutter characters, but they're done well. They make a good
Burke,
ensemble.
was that his name in it? Burke?
Could have been Burke, I think you're right. Game over, man!
Well, no, that was Bill Paxton, but Burke, I think, was more of a
Burke was the Wayland Yutani guy.
Weasley guy.
Paul Reiser.
Quite,
yeah. I did like the little not Easter egg, but the, I can't even call it a cameo. The little
Spoiler
throwback.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say.
I know, because we're going to talk about everything.
Yeah, so if you're going to go see the
movie,
movie, stop listening now, because we haven't given anything away yet. But what was it, Ross or the droid? Yeah. I thought that was quite good, and it was actually him, right? I also thought it was really cool.
Which now
the droid that was cut in half, and that was the same droid from the Nostromo.
I don't think so.
Right, but something similar had happened to him then.
Yeah,
right.
I don't think it was the same droid. I think it was it was just another droid in that image.
Because he looked like he took the same damage as
he did, but it was right beside that hole. So I think it was
where the acid got for sure.
Because I did think that myself. I was like, is it the same guy?
But I was knowing the same as but it's not the Nostromo, so did they just not fix him and throw him on a different thing to like fucking. I really liked it. So I'd love to kind of pause the movie and zoom in a bit. That part where they actually kind of have one of the xenomorphs hung up, where they had killed it and all, and it was kind of semi-skeletalized, it had
like degraded a bit, kind of.
Yeah, and I thought, I was like, oh wow, that looks savage, but you didn't see it long enough to really look at it. I thought some of the facehugger stuff was maybe it overstayed its welcome a little bit in play. Like I didn't like when they were sneaking past the facehuggers, but I did like that the facehuggers were more threatening. Usually they're just a thing that drives the plot on. They come in, implant someone with eggs, and piss off.
I liked a little bit of that. Yeah,
I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I thought, like, so the way that I always looked at Alien is like, you know, a lot of people don't like it's one of those things with Alien where it's like the more you tell me, the less I like it. And Covenant was very much that for me. It was like,
you told me too much.
I was like, I don't want to see fucking Fassbender like making an alien dance and all that. Like as soon as I seen that in that film, I was like, here. I literally just checked out. I was like, I don't care. Like I don't want to see that. It's not in like what.
There's the mystery of the xenomorph is really
fun. So but then at the same time, everyone knows what an alien is, right? So you're like, you can't just have it about aliens. So then I love what they did with it, where they made a big fucking weird alien resurrection, Butsy alien at the end that looked like Maynard. And had a big mad.
It was so gross. Like it was such a gross looking.
So for a lot of people that don't realise that, maybe just watch Alien as Alien and consume those films just at face value. They're all designed by H.R. Geiger, whatever you want to say it. Like that film was like totally him. So like in Alien 1 and 2,
all the way that they make
the whole sexualized weird thing, that's totally him. they had to like tell him like in the first two films they were like, no, we can't go as weird as you want to go because like it's just too weird. And so there was a scene that I think was cut from this film, but like the woman that gave birth to the Maynard, like she was lactating that black goo.
Yeah,
and the child and that alien was breastfeeding on her when you seen it. Like that scene where
I thought it was like eating her.
No, it was breastfeeding her to death,
right.
which is the Romulus Remus thing.
Yeah, and that's why the Romulus yeah, that makes sense. Because I was wondering, I thought like I was like, is the ship like I knew the ship wasn't called Romulus, but I was trying to figure out.
So that's the whole thing. You know, I'm not a woman, but from the perspective of Sigourney Weaver in the originals, from what I've heard, what they were always trying to go for was like that the alien was kind of a penetrative kind of like invasive thing, and that the facehugger was all that kind of involuntary kind of
it's got like
sus shit
SA
Look at this fellow. And
I'm learning.
So it had that to the max, like to make it really fucking creepy. Like when it was showing the facehugger, like that proper fucking big manky ass, like like it was.
I loved, but even something like that tool, and I love again. It wasn't like there's not too much. There's a little bit of exposition that you need to just figure out where you are. But even that tool that like when you shine it on yourself, that it shows. Cool. And they didn't really just use it, and she's like cool. And then that scene, I was like, that's brilliant. Like I'm sure when the writer came up with that and visualized it, he was like, I'm super good at this. You know,
the droid was great. I liked him.
I really liked him, and I really liked again talking about AI. That's kind of he gets personalities, but the personalities are based on the inputs. Because the only thing that like I wouldn't have cut it
to get away from Are You Bitch thing.
It didn't make much sense, but I was kind of like, yeah, that's fun. And even his
delivery said get away
so,
from her, that would have been fine.
It was the
whole You Bitch part. It's like just the nod, that little nod would have been perfect, but it was a bit much.
I think you're right. I think just slight overindulgence, but also I couldn't help it but kind of smile a bit, and I sort of like the way, to your point, he jumps down, he goes, get away from her, and I'm like, oh, that's like that, you know, you're kind of going, oh, cool, and then there's this a couple of beats, you bitch, you're like, okay, I agree with you, I probably would have removed it, but it was a bit of fun, and it made no sense that he said it, like, you know, it's like, why would he do that?
That was great, man, like, some of the visuals were fantastic.
Visuals were great,
one of our listeners actually wrote in, and she was saying, like, it was so cool when the silent parts, because that was a nod to in space, not like a screen. So that was very cool. That's really the original tagline.
It's one of my pet peeves when I watch a movie set in space and everything makes noise in space. That bugs me. I did like, what I love about Alien as well is I love, even as it progresses, it's still analog. So there's a stylus with sort of touch screen sort of, and it almost looks like, imagine like, it's almost like if technology just went a certain way.
It's like Fallout.
Yeah,
so that's how Fallout works. So Fallout was like, if 50s was like the peak of design and technology went mad down that way, but the aesthetic remained the same.
Stayed. It's like an MS-DOS sort of interface, but then you have these massive ships that are doing all cool. Yeah, I really like that, and I love the way that we've kept it at that. I love the way, I love the way that the director and the creators and the writers, that they've decided to like, let's keep it analog.
It's cool.
There was no, you know, it's like 23, but even like gates, they're manually pulling down gates and stuff, rather than quick, put in the code, and then you get like a.
It's a cool scene when the cyborg was opening up all the fucking doors.
Oh
it was like beasting the doors. It was really cool. No, it was a very good film. I might end up going to see it again, I'd say. Yeah, I thought it was really cool. I just thought there was a lot of cool nods. I like how they kind of made the human-y guy look like the Prometheus guys.
Yeah, true.
Because there's kind of a
link there.
But there's also like a theory now, like that they might run with the idea that the xenomorphs came before Prometheus creatures.
Okay.
So like they are some sort of offshoot of the alien, which I actually think makes more sense, especially if the alien is like the ultimate killer, and that they worship the alien, because they did worship the alien kind of. So it doesn't have to really retcon it too much.
Yeah.
But the guy who was Alvarez, he said he wants to do Alien versus Predator with the Predator guy. The new guy, Prey. He said he wants to do a film where it's half him, half the Prey guy. The directed half.
So almost like Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
that I would watch that.
That would be class,
I would
wouldn't it?
watch that.
And that's what you want. Like that's like that
Two
kind of
filmmakers having fun
Yeah,
with
that
subject
kind of
matter
shit.
they really enjoy. Yeah,
that
that's
kind of shit
awesome.
is so cool.
Because
So
Prey, man,
that was
Prey
great
was
too.
fun.
That was
Prey.
great too.
And it's great to see as well because Predator and Alien are two movies that I've known to have had
Yeah.
some fairly sketchy,
Yeah.
especially when they go together. They get like, "Eek."
I actually didn't mind AVP. It was kind of crap, but it was
AVP,
schlocky, but it was
I think
alright.
AVP
Like,
is directed
it was
by-
alright.
But it's made by the
Jesus,
fella.
that was
Yeah,
Jesus.
it's made by the guy who did all the Resident Evil movies. I think.
Oh, that makes
Is
sense.
It Paul?
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's the auteur,
Anderson, Paul,
but there's Wes Anderson
Yeah.
and Paul W.S.
Paul
Anderson.
W.S.
Yeah,
Anderson's
that's it.
that guy. Yeah,
The fellow who's married to Mila.
Yeah.
But I think he directed Deep Blue Sea as well, which is one of the
Alright.
best movies.
Oh,
He directed Event Horizon, which
Alright.
is actually
Yeah, yeah.
a class movie.
yeah. No, look, honestly, if you haven't seen the film, go and check it out. You don't.
worth it, yeah.
You don't even have to have seen any of the other aliens, which is great.
Exactly, yeah, that's a
Yeah.
very good point. And it's got enough there if you have. Even they talk about the Prometheus
Yeah,
program a
yeah.
little bit and blah blah blah.
A lot of people are kind of saying like, will the sequel be on like the mining colony? Like, you know, would the aliens get down to that planet? That'd be cool. Aliens in
Yeah.
mines.
That would be pretty cool. I thought it was like there's certain movies where the corporations are just sort of like needlessly evil.
Needless whaling you
Where,
had it.
yeah, whaling time is just like, oh, you have to work here another
Yeah.
6 years. That's just the way it goes sometimes. I think some sort of we've actually done it with the penal colony
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
What do you think would be a good scenario or a good place to do? Like obviously the mining. Any other?
I think if they were to do a sequel, like I think it would have to be probably either on that colony maybe, or you know, because they're not going to go down the, like, I assume she'd be in the sequel, so I doubt they'll go down the angle of she's been impregnated, because she hasn't.
No.
So then
And it's a bit of a cheap.
yeah, so then you'd have to go like, how would she be reintroduced to the alien?
She still has a load of those vials that could probably link in.
Yeah.
So, and what you could do is probably some cool stuff where like maybe you drop some, it spills like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle thing where some animal gets at it and then they start impregnating the other things.
Yeah, because that's what the alien does. It takes on the appearance of different animals.
Yeah,
like,
you got like the bull alien and the dog alien, all that sort of stuff. Yeah,
class. I really enjoyed it.
It's very fun.
Good to see a good alien finally, because like going to see Alien Covenant, I was like, this is just wank. I may watch it again because I really didn't like that film.
Yeah, I remember
really
watching it
didn't
being
like
like,
it.
yes. I think I was like, it's fine, but I don't know. Do you know sometimes you go see a movie and you're just like, probably not in the mood to see a movie, but you've said you'll go see it, so I was kind of half there.
I'm an Alien super fan. Like I was always mad at
All
Alien.
your family fucking love aliens.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I was trailblazer there, like, you know.
Was that you?
Yeah, of course.
I didn't realize.
And then when I went to see that, I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I remember after the film ended, I asked the lads, I was like, oh yeah, what you think of that? Like, oh yeah, I enjoyed it. I was like, what? Like, but people seem to like Covenant, but for me, corny. Like, I don't want to see aliens being tamed or anything. It's just corny.
Yeah, I think
Like,
that I liked Prometheus
less.
less than Covenant, but I also thought of my alien movies, I like they're like
Yeah.
bottom,
Oh yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Same. I probably put them actually below all of the others. I'd say so.
even AVP.
Did
Did you like Predators?
Was that the one with Adrian Brody?
No, the one that came after that. Where
who was in that again? Did I see that? I probably did. Like,
trying to remember your man's
Yeah.
name who was in it.
I don't know. I
It was
probably.
directed by Shane Black.
What happened in it?
The Predator is in a lab in like America, and he gets out and he starts yeeting people.
I don't think I've seen
Then
that.
there's
Then.
a different Predator who's like,
Oh, I
more
did see that.
powerful.
Oh, yeah, that was
Yeah.
corny as fuck.
It is corny. I enjoyed it.
It was
but
like, it was
dumb.
schlocky, like,
Yeah.
really
But to be fair,
schlocky.
when you think about
Was
the
some
first
MMA
Predator
guy
movie,
in that film or something, like fucking Mayhem Miller or someone? Was there someone in that? Because I remember there was a scene where they're all they're all in the back of like a fucking truck going somewhere. Was there like an MMA dude or something?
No,
in
Thomas Jane, I think, was in it in a small
that? I
part.
don't know. Who's he?
The Punisher, the first Punisher. Not the first Punisher, the second Punisher. Dolph Lundgren was the first Punisher.
I think there was someone weird in it.
There was-
I'm
there was-
feeling MMA vibes.
There was Key from Key and Peele.
Yeah.
There was...
I wasn't. No, I didn't.
There
like
probably
that.
was some...
It's really forgettable. Like, I
True,
actually don't remember.
It's something like,
anything
for me,
about
the
that
best
film.
way to describe that is if it came on...
And the kid was no.
The kid going around, the autistic kid going around blasting stuff with the mask and all.
No.
I think what got me was like, if it came on like at 9 o'clock at night on the TV, I'd be like, oh cool, I'll watch this, and I'd enjoy it. But like, as a part of the canon. Because Predator 2 with Danny Glover is class. I like Predator 2
shouts
a
out
lot.
King Willie. I preferred the original sort of reboot with Adrian Brody to that Predators one. And
I didn't think that was necessarily that great.
it was grand.
It was fine.
It was an interesting concept. It was like the original, basically. It was kind of like
Where they got blasted out into
it was
town.
interesting. But yeah, sure, look, we'll leave it there. We're way overdue. The lads have got a lot out of us today. We'll leave it there. I've been Rob.
I've been aiming.
Mini Fuzz over and out.